So it's been about 1,000 miles with the 2025 Honda Civic Type-R, and in today's video I'm going to give you guys a walk around, show you guys all the features that I like and don't like about the car, and then we're going to take the car to the canyons in the rain to give you guys an idea of what it's like to drive the 2025 Honda Civic Type-R. Welcome back to Adobe Moto. Let's start in the exterior. You're going to notice this humongous wing from the factory. One of the things that I wish they did for the price point was just give us a carbon fiber spoiler, because the MSRP on this is about 47 grand, and depending whether or not you can get it for MSRP, I've heard of markups going as high as 30K, something I didn't pay. But I did pay a $5,000 markup on this car. The other thing I wish they did was just made the mirror red. It just looks so out of place to me. I'm not a fan. I am going to get one of those square mirrors that are carbon fiber just because I like the look of it better, but I guess it goes with the black on red look, which I am definitely a fan of the red. On the wheel side, I wish they had just given us forged wheels from the factory, but they did not. These are just the aluminum alloys, and they are in this weird size of a 19-inch. And if you know cars, 19-inch tires are very expensive compared to 18 inches. There is an option for a forged wheel, which I may buy eventually, but for now we are running on the stockers. And these are 265/30 ZR19s, and for some reason I thought they were Cup 2s, but they are Michelin Pilot Sport 4Ss. Now it's hard to pick up, but this is a super wide body car. You can notice it from a lower angle. It has this interesting triple exhaust design. Apparently there is some sort of valve inside the center exhaust that opens up depending on what RPM you're in and in what mode. And I'll talk about the different modes in a minute. Let's finish up this exterior. We have the shark fin antenna there. We have the engine exhaust vent here. Although I do love this front end, it just looks like a normal Civic. But again, wider fenders and Type-R badge. Oh, and I forgot to mention it does have these Brembo brakes, which are humongous. I'm not 100% sure if they're 6-pot, but they do look similar to my STI, which are 6-pot. And I also love the fact that the rotors aren't slotted or drilled, meaning they may be cheap to replace. Now looking under the hood, you can see this turbo inlet right here. This is the turbo inlet baffle. It is plastic. You can buy a billet heatsink to help reduce heat, and they also make aftermarket turbo inlets, but for the purpose of saving my warranty, I'm not going to do anything just yet. Now if you look right here, this is the turbo, and one thing that I noticed when I finally got a chance to look at it is there is no turbo exhaust manifold. That's because it's built into the head. They call this a headifold. Now despite the head having the water jackets, I've heard people saying that this still has heating issues, so I am going to eventually upgrade this radiator. Now you may or may not have heard me talk about the dual axis strut, which is the specific suspension that's in the front of this car that makes it grip almost like a four-wheel drive. But on top of that, there's also a helical differential in the front. Okay, not much more to say in the engine bay. It's a 2-liter K20C, and if you're a K-Series snob, you may not consider this a true K-Series motor because they got rid of VTEC on the exhaust end. Otherwise, a pretty reliable motor as far as I've heard. Okay, let's get inside the car. Check this out. It has a nice entrance music with a nice Type-R logo. I did change the shift knob from the aluminum one to an aluminum one with a leather trim. It's just too cold in the wintertime. We will swap it back in the summer. The center does have charging for your phone, but I thought it was interesting that they didn't have USB-C. It still has the regular old USB. Of course, you have the cigarette lighter right here. We have manual knobs for climate control. We have all our assists right here, volume up and down. No buttons on the back of it, which is nice. Very driver-focused wheel. It's small enough. It does not telescope, but it does go up and down. And as you can see, I'm yanking on it. Does not telescope. I just have it at its highest setting. Down to the left of the steering wheel, you can turn off traction control with this button right here. This thing does light up when you're driving. It's a nice red. This interior honeycomb bezel right here is hiding the vents. And if you look closely, there's some R's that are hidden. We have the Type-R numbered plate. This is number 52,746. They've obviously made a lot of these cars, but not much in red. Push start is right here, so let's go ahead and start it up. The clutch push is very light. Now I'm going to talk about the different drive modes. I'm going to start in comfort, and that's what comfort looks like. Basically, comfort is just a regular old Honda Civic. Boost is turned down, suspension is at its softest, the auto rev match is also at its softest, and again, it just feels like a Honda Civic. We push this up, and now we're in sport mode. You have a bit of red right here on the dash, nothing really significant. There's a sport setting for suspension, as well as steering. Oh, and engine sound as well. While we're here, let's go over the last settings, which is individual settings. This is the fully customizable setting. How I have it set up is the engine is in R mode. Again, this is like the power levels. Steering is in sport. R is the tightest steering. Suspension, I keep it in comfort, surprisingly, and that's for street driving. Engine sound, this is the AI sound that you get. I just have it off or lowest settings. I'm not into the fake sounds. Rev match, I keep in sport. Rev match only has 2 settings. And then the gauges, I like to run the R gauges. So this is my individual setting, and I feel like this is what a lot of people will run. The infotainment overall is super responsive. I really like it. It's one of the most responsive infotainments I've ever tried. Okay, you guys already know the deal. Red seats, red seat belts, black passenger interior, and it only seats 2 because down here are cup holders. And of course we got the red stitching because Honda. More red stitching here, more red stitching here, red iconic Honda emblem on the steering wheel. Oh, and stitching on the steering wheel as well. All right, let's go for a drive. Alright, we're starting this drive off in comfort mode because obviously this is a car that was technically meant to be daily, and I think that's something that's always been true with any Honda that you buy. This is a sports car that's meant to be a sort of do-it-all. Now the Type S version of this in the Integra, a lot of people are disappointed that it's not automatic, which I understand to a certain extent. Here's how I think of that car. If I wanted a luxury automatic, I agree. I wouldn't buy the Type S Integra. And I think the crowd that's blaming a Honda for not bringing an automatic to the Type S Integra, they make a good point. Having a manual in the Type S Integra really narrows down your consumer base to people who are fine with having a manual transmission luxury sedan. Because the people who don't care about that stuff are just going to buy the Type-R. One, it's cheaper. Two, it has better seats. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the Type S Integra is a little bit heavier than the Type-R Civic. Which brings me to my point of comfortability. This is not the most comfortable sedan. A lot of things that I've read about the Type-R and people wanting it to be a more comfortable daily will swap out the suspension module for the Integra Type S. I thought I wanted to get that module, but after driving this car for about 1,000 miles now, I realized comfort mode is pretty damn comfortable for a car that's supposed to be driven in the canyons or the track and be a daily as well. I think the module in this car is just fine. Personally, if you're going to be doing the module swap, why not just get the Type S? Now, comfort mode is fine. When I'm driving in comfort mode, it just feels like a manual Honda Civic. It's not overwhelming at all. In fact, it's a little underwhelming. I've seen a lot of reviews on the S2000. I've never really personally driven one. I do want to plan to drive one sometime in the future because I hear a lot of mixed reviews about the S2000. But the one thing that really stood out to me was apparently you have to drive the S2000 like you're doing a track day, because otherwise if you just drive it like a daily car, it gets really boring. And when I heard that, I immediately thought of comfort mode in this car because, again, comfort mode feels like a Honda Civic. This is a Honda Civic. So let's just put it in R mode right now. Look how beautiful that is. And yes, it is a little bit wet, a lot of it wet. But we're gonna try to have some fun, as much fun as we can without losing traction and destroying my son's brand new car. Here we go, in the rain. Immediately lost traction. But because of that suspension, the wheel didn't turn at all. Now, with this R mode, you get the AI sounds. At first, it sounds pretty cool. It actually confused my buddy, the Jigsaw King. And I was like, no, that's AI. He's like, wow, that sounds good for AI. And maybe, but after like 1,000 miles, you're like, okay, I'm over this sound. Even in the wet, this car seems to grip just fine. And these are Sport Cup 2s, I believe. I may get confused with tires because I am coming from the bike world. But coming from the bike world, having 4 wheels on the ground, to me, that's grip for days. Again, we're not driving as hard as we normally would in the dry, but I think a lot of people worry that this is a front-wheel drive car and it's not going to do well in the rain. And for me, it seems to grip just fine. I purposely wanted to come out here in the rain just to see if we can drive this kind of hard and still have fun. I think as a biker in the winter time like this, I get really depressed, especially because I love being out here. But having the Subaru STI and now the Type-R, well, first the Type-R and then the STI, it's made this winter really, really fun. Oh, deer, 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 deer. Oh my gosh. I'm also confused as to what gear I'm trying to use, because normally I'm at a higher gear and the higher revs. This car apparently makes the most power, like peak power, just under 7,000 RPM, so there's really no reason to rev this out past 7K, which I thought was a little confusing, but I think Honda's tune, again, for longevity. It's a Civic, it's a Honda Civic, it's made to last, right? Honda has a reputation for building cars and motorcycles that are made to last hundreds of thousands of miles. Now, a lot of people are saying there's a lot more potential left on the table, but again, at the cost of wear and reliability. As a stock car, this car is fun as hell, man. Third gear this corner. Usually, I'm on this corner a little bit harder. Still on the gas here. Haven't felt wheel slip at all, which is surprising. These are supposed to be summer track tires. But it's good. It's working. Do I love it? Yeah. Now that auto rev match, ooh, one of my favorite, if not the favorite feature on the Civic Type-R. This car's just gripping. No matter what I do to it, it's just gripping. Even like these little puddles that I'm running over, the LSD works so well that I don't feel an imbalance when I hit those water patches. It's such a fun car to drive. Here we go. Now, I made a short video on how the front suspension combats torque steer, but along with that torque steer, it's that helical diff. They work hand in hand to give you the most grip possible in low traction conditions and in cornering. I mean, it is coming down, it is dumping rain out here, and I feel like I can push it a little bit harder and harder every time. Am I going to push it? No. But that doesn't take away from the fun. I'm having so much fun in the rain. In a front wheel drive car, something I didn't think would really be possible with summer tires on top of it. Broke early. Ooh, there we go. There's a little slip there. As I get used to it, I am pushing it a little bit harder and harder. And I just felt my first slip, which is a sign to slow the fuck down. But man, that auto blip is freaking amazing. I love it. And I keep calling it auto blip. Auto rev match. It's the jigsaw squid in me talking. Yep, just keep it in second here because this is a tight one. Wow. Okay, we gotta look out for deer. This car is so freaking fun to drive no matter the weather. Now, would I do this in snow? Absolutely not. But would I do this in snow with the STI? No, absolutely not. Similar conditions, similar driving. I think the STI and the Type-R are so evenly matched. You know, until we get into like the dirt or snow, I'd imagine the Type-R can keep up just as well as the STI in inclement weather like this. Now we just hit a pot of water on the right hand. I felt a little bit of unequal grip, clearly because I hydroplaned on the right, but this wheel did not really move at all. Again, thanks to that helical diff. Oh yeah. I can't believe I'm out here in December getting down in my favorite canyon road. One of my favorite canyon roads. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing except this time in comfort mode, not sport, in comfort, to show you guys what I mean. No spinning of any tires that time. I am having to hold that throttle a lot longer, and we'll see how this does. So in comfort mode, everything is less aggressive and less abrupt, because again, it's supposed to be comfortable. So that auto rev match, not as aggressive, it's not as confidence inspiring. Taking this turn, again, it just feels like a very different car. A lot more roll. It's strange, the suspension is not tight. It becomes less confidence inspiring. It's a little nuts. Yeah, I can feel the roll this way. Completely different car, not as punchy, and definitely more rolly. It's crazy what one press of a button can do to make the drive that much better. I'm moving around in the seat more. I can feel more of this. Oh yeah, like it is doing this while I'm driving. Okay, yep. You definitely don't want to be doing this in comfort mode, but there really is a huge difference. Just by the way I'm driving, I am less confident that this car wants to grip. It's interesting. Really interesting. It's like a night and day difference. It's like you're driving two different cars. It's crazy to me to think that a car manufacturer can have a car so drastically different with the press of a button. Okay, let's take this corner a little quick. It's a long sweeper. I'm just gonna put it in fourth because I don't want to switch gears. Oh God, yeah. I'm getting pulled this way. Not a fan of comfort mode and spirited driving mode. You know, I'm gonna drive it slow. I'm gonna pop it in R and see. God, that tightness in the steering feels way better. Just immediately better. The tightness in the suspension, better. The responsiveness in the throttle, better. I think we got extra boost now. Overall, the car just feels better in R mode. The electronic steering rack is really nice. I was gonna comment that the hydraulic steering rack in the STI is better, but something about this electronic steering rack that kind of gives you a little bit of a hydraulic feel. I like it. This car definitely makes me miss my Focus RS, and I think it's only because I know in my mind that the Focus RS is all-wheel drive and this still is a front-wheel drive car, but I also have the Honda reliability, so. So there you go. About 1,000 miles later, we're still having a blast with the Type-R. On the next video, we pit the Type-R against the STI. We let the homies drive it, and we all get a fun break from motorcycles for a little bit. I'll catch you guys in the next video.